good to see you, Johan, Anna.
Yes.
And thank you for the photos that you sent. They're really fantastic. The new life you have there, wow, great.
No, it's completely different from what we used to in South Africa.
Yeah, I can imagine. Positives and negatives, you want to give a sense of sort of what's the difference between the two?
Positives I can say is the fact that we can walk around wherever we want to and not feel threatened.
Yeah.
The kids can go and play outside in the yard, and we don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
There's parks and playgrounds for them to go and play at. It's clean, it's tidy. Your negatives, I haven't really found anything that I can say is really negative, except for what we've been through. But yeah, apart from that, it's just a completely different way of life, and it's so many things to get used to. So yeah, it's just one of those things that we really how can I put it?
Not used to.
Yeah, we're not used to. We're still getting into everything.
Culture shock, is that a real thing?
Definitely. Yes, definitely.
The people is very, very helpful, friendly. They will help you everywhere they can help you. They will help you. They always want to help you. So they always say, if you struggle, please let me know. We will help you.
So at first, does it feel like you're suspicious? Like, why is this person trying to help me? What's going on? There must be a trick.
Yeah, when I went to New World for the first time, the lady behind the cashier actually started talking to me, and I was, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why are you talking to me? It's not something that we used to, because normally the cashiers in South Africa, they don't talk to you.
No.
They're very, very stern and very, very held back. But yeah, they're also friendly, and they just want, and they talk to the kids. They just want to see how the kids are.
Yeah, they love the kids.
Yeah.
If they saw the kids, they just want to, they forget about me and Anay, and they follow, they focus on the kids and how the kids, and they want to make the kids smile and all that.
You've been on a big journey. You contacted me in September sometime, early September.
Yes.
We went through a process, and then you carried that process through to the market. You got work. You were very clear with me, Johan. You were very clear. You are a very solid expert with heavy diesel machinery, light diesel machinery, training, call-outs, fix, strip, build, basically any machine, and you have photos of it. They're huge machines, but you also work on light. You had so many call-outs. You were a supervisor of two workshops, right?
Yes.
So you have all these skills to use, which are very important skills. And that didn't work out because the employer didn't know what he wanted.
If you can say it like that, he knows he wants a diesel mechanic, but he wants an all-rounder. If you can say it like that, he must be a jack of all trades. Actually, that is what he wants.
Yeah, it was quite a shock for us when Johan came home the evening and told me that he was let go. I mean, we were in New Zealand for 3 days, still jet lagged, still trying to find our feet, see where we're going with it. And then the next thing, he was let go. So yeah, that was a huge shock to us. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know where to go. Luckily, the friends of ours where we were staying, we were with them for 3 weeks. But yeah, things got rough. We eventually had to leave Hokitika. We moved to family of ours in Timaru for about 2 weeks. And eventually, through lots of prayer and faith, we got the job in Christchurch, where we are currently. So yeah, it was a huge emotional roller coaster for both of us. And to try and explain to the kids what's going on, why daddy is not going to work and why we don't have our own house, why they're not going to school. Yeah, it was difficult and still is. I mean, until we can basically go back to work and get them into school again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Okay, and the current status, I think we'll go through everything in a top line, then we'll go back through and look at photos and just have a talk.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, so the current status, what is the current status?
Well, this moment, we got all the paperwork from the employer that we have to submit to the immigration for my visa. So because we need to do a new visa because I'm outside of Hokitika and I'm not the same employer, so I don't need to do a verification. I must do a whole complete visa again. So so we're just waiting for the immigration, and as soon as they approve my visa, then I can start work because they said on my contract is my beginning date is when my visa is sorted out, then I can start work. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna work now with this lockdown what we're in now. So yeah, that is, and I see also immigration is also just important visas they are getting now. So we hope they see mine as important and get mine also quickly sorted out.
Luckily, I did tell her what happened and what's going on. When I told her what happened, she was quite shocked, and she basically gave me three options. It was either Johan gets other work and apply for a new visa, ASAP, or I get work and apply as the main applicant, or we do a three-month visitor visa. So basically, our essential skills visa would expire, and then or we go back to South Africa. That was our four choices.
4 choices. You chose the best one.
Yes.
We had to. We didn't have a choice. But well, we had 4 choices, but for us, the other 3 were not even options.
Anne, what is it that you do?
I'm a qualified beauty therapist. I haven't done it for quite a few years, but I'm qualified in beauty therapy. And then I've been a safety officer for about 10 years. I've got construction scaffolding background, and I've got open cast mining experience as well.
Okay, well, I offer all of my clients no charge to the partner. Once you have your work visa, if you want my help, I have a couple of ideas that have worked in the past very well.
Yeah, no, it's one thing that we said we must still, the moment that we get settled and I've got the kids in a way that I can manage them, I want to sit with you and we can do that. It's been quite a roller coaster. And I said to Johan, I don't want to go out and find work in the old areas where we were without him having work, because if it happens that we have to move again, I mean,
stay separate.
Yeah, and I don't want that. We've been separate. We've stayed separate before, and we've stayed in different countries before, and it's not an option for us, especially not with the 2 little ones.
Yes, right. That's right. Johan was out building the biggest machine in the entire planet.
It's still bigger than that one. That one is still small.
That's a baby.
That's a baby. Okay, we'll take a look at some of those babies. Right. So currently you do have a job offer, and it's just waiting for immigration. So we've made the miracle happen twice.
Yes.
We've gotten the work twice.
Yes.
Do you want to go into photos? Maybe should we start with the more recent ones, or should we start with Johan's past life? Because I've got a heavy set of the past life where he's got all this experience. I've got also some really great ones of the current life.
Oh, we can go into some past life. Start at the beginning of where everything started.
Okay, very good. We'll do that right now. So we're talking about the past life. This is where you started. You've got these huge machines that you're working on, Johan.
That's good. Correct.
D11, is that a baby?
That is of the for dozers. That is one of the biggest ones that you get.
Okay, so a human comes up to maybe this side on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so here we go. Some of these, the wheels are actually bigger than people on some of these vehicles.
Yeah. That's just 100-tonner.
Just 100 tons, yeah. See them every day. There we go. Look at that.
That's a 100-tonner wheel. So that you can see how big the 100-tonner is. But as you can see, you can get, if I'm not mistaken, there's 300 and it's 400 tons. Is the biggest one you get now, but it's about 3 storage big. So yeah, that one is still a baby.
Okay, 400 tons and 3 stories. So if you think of a 3-story house is like something amazing, that's what your vehicles are now.
Yeah. That's what my toys are made of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is also 100 ton. That is that's 110 ton excavator that was broken. That had a rock fall on it, and we fixed it. Yes, that is one of the rebuilds that I also that machine was full of rust and was actually that's all. If I'm not mistaken, 950 front end loader is one of the first ones that you still get this mechanical. There's not very much electrical on that one. And what we did here is basically strip it from top to bottom, get the final drives built over, the disc get built over, the engine get built over, the transmission get built over, and all your metal components get sandblasted and get resprayed so that it can look like new again if you finish with it.
So that's another thing that we didn't even cover. Along with all of your other skills, one of them is you can take an old machine that's basically going to get junked,
yes,
strip it all the way down, replace what needs to be replaced, fix what you can, build it all the way back up so that it looks like you could sell it on a car lot or a.
Yeah, that's what the people is doing. Like they build this, they buy these old machines for next to nothing, then they put all the money into it to get it rebuilt again, and then they sell it for a good couple of bucks. It can be used again for the next 30 to 40 hours, 1,000 hours. So, yeah.
30 to 40,000 hours.
That's correct, yes. It's like those 100 tonners, the old ones that we worked on, we pushed them to 65,000 hours.
Okay, well.
The correct maintenance and all that in place, and correct timing for component change outs and all that stuff. We got the lifespan of 65,000 hours.
Okay, 65,000 divided by 2,000 on average, 32 years of work for a person full time.
Yes, correct.
You have, wow.
Those machines are work 24/7, 365 days.
Right, so then it's less years, but it's the same amount of time. Wow.
Time, yes.
And look at this. I mean, you could put some houses would fit on that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a PC 5500 front shovel. You can say about 2 small vehicles can fit in that bucket.
And when you build these things up, you have to plan, because you need, in order to lift these big scoops, you need heavy machinery. A light machine won't do it.
Yeah, you have correct cranes, tonnage of cranes. We used 120 ton to 300 ton cranes to help us with lifting. We did tandem lifting also with this front shovel. And yeah, so you start from the bottom with the tracks and you build it up to where it is complete.
Now, this is what Anne was talking about, you being far away. Those
That's
days are over now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, luckily.
Yeah.
It's like there, you start at the bottom of the
Yeah.
tracks and you build it up.
Starting on the bottom, and even the very bottom is higher than his head.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. I'm putting my boot on these things to tie my shoe on most machines that I see. And this I can't even reach the top on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, that,
Okay, and then I just copied this list of certificates that you have from Caterpillar, and you've got a lot of training as well. So
yeah.
your past, well done. How did you get hired the first time? What was something obviously went wrong, but something went right at the beginning. How did the process go?
This guy that I worked for was looking for a diesel mechanic, and the friends that we stayed with told them they must go to a recruiter because they have got lots of CVs for people that is qualified diesel mechanics, and the recruiter that he went to that actually got my CV from the beginning when we started the job searching, and she told the guy you must look at this CV, and he looked at it and he was happy with the CV, what was on it, and he contacted the recruiter and said he wants an interview, and we scheduled the interview. Yeah, and we start talking about it, and we found out he actually also was an ex-South African. He also come from the same places where I was, and yeah, so he said to me, no, he sounds like I'm the guy that he wants, and we start the application for visas and all, get everything in order. And yeah, when I started working, he said, yeah, my diesel mechanic work is nothing wrong with, but he looking for all rounder because he thought I'm so long in the trade, I can do all the stuff outside of my work. Um, and I said to him, I'm trained for diesel mechanic and not for something else. So that is my work field. The other stuff that I can do is just a little to get me out of trouble if that it happens. It's not to say I'm specialized in that specific job. So yeah, and he was not very happy with that. And so yeah, we spoke to the recruiter again to get helped us. He said to us, with all that we can do is we need to start from the beginning again, job searching. And yeah, so after a month of job searching, got lucky with this people that I'm with now. I saw the ad on Seek, and I thought, hey, it's 20 days already posted that the chances that they're still available, it is going to be very rare. And I contacted them and said, no, it's still available. And I sent my CV through to them. And it was about the moments. I wonder
2 minutes.
I wonder if it was 5 minutes. Then they phoned me and told me, listen, when can I come for an interview? If I can come for an interview. And I said to them, anytime. They must just call the time and place. And that was a Friday morning. They said to me, can you come on tomorrow? That is a Saturday. 10 o'clock. They must have an interview, or is it too fast? I said, no, it's not too fast. I will be there. So on Saturday, I went through, go for the interview, and everyone was surprised. Why on a Saturday? It was it's normally Monday to Friday, but they called me for a Saturday, and we start talking, and we immediately got the right food, and we got a very nice chat. And they said no, they're gonna give me a go. To see what I can do. And it is outside, kind of said, it's not even on the earth moving vehicles, it's on trucks, on highway trucks and buses. So yeah, it's also going to be a good challenge for me, get outside of my comfort zone and to go into something new. And yeah, that is, like I said, I'm always open for new stuff to learn. And they saw that I'm willing to learn, even if I don't know that much about trucks. They are willing to give me the chance or to see if I can learn and perform as they want me to.
Mm. Just one thing, Tate, that I want to say on the training side is that in South Africa, you get different types of trades. You get your diesel, or you get your mechanical trades, you get your boilermaker trades, you get your millwright trades, those kind of things. So if you're not specifically trained in that area, the chances are that you're going to be an expert in doing that is not very good. Except if you're an all-rounder, like Johan says, you've got a trade in mechanical work, you've got a trade in boilermaker work, you've got a trade in millwright work. And that is unfortunately how South Africa works. What we've seen in New Zealand is that the employers want you to be an all-rounder.
You must do that a little bit extra.
Yes. And if it's not part of your reference framework, it gets difficult. And especially if the employer is not willing to teach you or to give you some kind of training, that makes it even more difficult.
It's these smaller teams here in New Zealand, isn't it?
That's correct, yes.
So the second one was given the job offer, and then how many days after has this coronavirus thing come into play? Because it's sort of like, by my memory, I could be wrong, but I think the job offer came, the second one, before the coronavirus became a problem.
We basically
basically on Saturday, past Saturday, I went for the interview. Monday
we went to level 3.
Monday we went to level 3, and the same day they sent me through the paperwork to get everything done. And what was it? On Tuesday, I got the final documents through that I can send through to immigration. And on Wednesday we went into level 4 shutdown. So yeah, that is how it works.
Johan and Anne, you are people of great faith, aren't you?
Yes, correct. Yes.
And so I would have to conclude that God has smiled on you for giving you that Saturday appointment.
You know what, Tate? And you must excuse me if I get emotional over this, but you know what? Like I said in my post, that through everything that happened, it became a thing of we prayed every single day, and it felt like our prayers were hitting the ceiling. But there was a reason why we went to Hokitika. There was a reason why we went to Timaru, even if it was just to see our family before the shutdown, because we haven't seen them in 6 years. And there was a reason why we ended up in Christchurch. It's like everything was just planned out for us as to where we needed to go. And like I said, it felt like my prayers were hitting the ceiling. And then the next thing, we saw the advert. It was placed on the 20th of February. We landed on, well, Johan lost his job on the 20th of February. So that ad was placed. We've gone through all the ads, and we haven't. That one didn't come up. I don't know how it happened that we didn't see that one. Yeah. And then last week Thursday, Johan saw the advert. He sent it over to me. I did the application for him. 2 minutes down the line, they phoned him. We did the interview on Saturday. So everything just worked out the way that it had to work out.
Yes, it's just after that Thursday that I spoke to you over the phone that we what to do. You give me some pointers what to look at and how to do it. And I start just for I start with Timaru because we are in Timaru, and there's not really coming some jobs up that I can look at. And I saw, let's try Christchurch. Christchurch is a good place. It's just we didn't bargain up to come and to live in the city. We actually wanted to stay in the small places because it's everyone is close. But it happens that I saw the position in Christchurch, and I told them, listen, if we need to go to Christchurch, it will be all this is in in the Lord's hands. So he actually, it happened so that I can see that advert. And with that advert, I have 4 or 5 others. One also put in for my CVs, and they didn't come back positive. But this one is immediately came back to me, and he wants to interview. And it was like they was waiting for me, if I can say it like that.
Amazing. That's right. So we had our chat on Thursday, and the Saturday was your interview.
That's correct, yes.
Nice.
Very quickly.
Very quickly. Very quickly. This may be a good time to go into the other photos that you sent, Ane.
Yes.
That's correct. We can do.
So here we are. It says our first day out and about beach visit in Hokitika.
That was the day of my birthday. We went out to the beach. Like I said, we were still jet lagged there. We arrived in New Zealand the previous day on the 13th. So the 14th, we went out to the beach. That day, I think I got the best present of all. It was the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen in my life. Purple, pink skies. The kids went out playing on the beach, running up and down, picking up stones. It was amazing.
So the feeling of being on the beach in New Zealand, explain the difference to South Africans who haven't yet been here.
Well, it was quite different because we used to a lot of waves. So yeah, that was quite a thing to get used to, the fact that there's not really a lot of waves here, except if the wind blows. Then there's quite huge waves. But you know what? The fact that the water is so clean and clear, the beaches are clean. It was something else. And I mean, Hokitika is not a big place, but there was people out walking about, taking pictures, because at that stage, just a week before, they had the driftwood art festival thing where they make art out of all the driftwood. So all that was still standing around. So there were people taking pictures, walking around, enjoying the sunset. So yeah, it was quite nice.
Lighthouse in Hokitika. A little bit of history there for the local place?
Yeah, the kids get quite difficult when they're in-house the whole time. So we took them out for a walk quite often. And this is just at the house where we stayed. You walk basically to the back of the house, then you go through the old cemetery. I was so surprised to see the cemetery that's so clean, and the graves, the old graves. I mean, there's graves from 1835, 1846 around there, and they're all still in very good condition. And then when you walk past the cemetery, you get to the lighthouse, and they call it the lookout point. There's a big hill where you can stand on top, and you can look out over the sea.
In sunset.
At sunset and everything else. So that is basically where I took the pictures of the kids at the lighthouse, because they've never seen a lighthouse before, and I wanted them to have a picture of that.
Great. So the feeling of going up to these different places and walking around and not concerned about someone who may be monitoring you for a target of crime.
It's very safe. It's very clean. It's quiet. You don't have that in South Africa where they think you owe them everything. Here the people is actually greeting you. They smile at you. They if they see the children, as I said previously, they love the kids here. The kids is everything here in New Zealand. That is, if you can say everything turns around the kids. It's not about the parents, it's about the kids. And that's very nice here, because even as they were walking a little bit far from you, you can see the people is greeting them and all that stuff. It's not like they want to grab them and run away with them. And they actually they keep their children safe, even if they're out of your eye. Someone else is looking out for them. And that is what is nice here in New Zealand. People looking out for each other here.
Yeah, and that saying of the South African mom syndrome, that's very true, because still sometimes I get into the thing of, you know what, I've got to keep my kids close because they're going to get stolen, or someone is going to abduct them, or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, it's a mindset that needs to change on our side, to know that our kids are safe. We can take them out for walks. We don't have to worry about the dangers. I mean, yeah, I let them run out before me. I mean, they had such a blast. And it's necessary for them to get out and to go and enjoy the sunshine and the freedom. And that is why we came here. That is one of the reasons why we came here, is to have freedom for them.
It's nice to know that your vision for having that life experience has come true, and I never get tired of those stories.
Yeah, no, it's quite different. And like I said, we need to get into that mind space of, you know what, it's okay to go out and take a walk with the kids, without having to grab their hands and hold them tight so that they don't get lost.
It's like this one is one of the walk ways that you get near the house where we stay. Paths that you can go and walk and see the forest, and that is one of the ones that they loved it. They just want to go up and down all the time.
Yeah, and every afternoon they would tell us, Mom, Dad, we're going for a long walk. So yeah, they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And especially with the kids coming from a farm. I mean, they've lived on a farm for about 2 years, well, year and a half.
Yeah.
And there they were used to, when they want to go out, they can go out, and they can go and play outside. So yeah, that is, yeah, we still, okay, well, we're now in town, and we need to make sure that they're safe and they don't run out because there's cars and whatever. But we need to get into that mindset, you know what, take them out for their walks, get them out in the sunshine, get them some vitamin D. So yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our first flight. That we were still in South Africa. We just boarded the plane there. It was about half past 10 at night.
Yes.
Yeah. First ever international flight for me and the kids. That's the playground in Hokitika, where we took them to go and play a little bit.
Very nice.
Very nice, very clean, very good looked after. Yeah, that was also quite a culture shock for us.
No one in South Africa will pay for something like that to go entertain your kids. Yes, for free.
No, but it's also it's not run down. It's looked after.
Yes.
The kids can go and play. I mean, they've got a little bench here at the side where the parents can actually sit down and just have a look at the kids while they're playing around. And they've got two separate playing areas. They've got one for the smaller kids, and they've got one for the bigger kids, separate from each other. So yeah, it's very nice for the kids, and also for us to get out and get some fresh air.
And it's all around it is a fence, so the kids can't go into the street. It's very safe.
Yeah.
Very safe.
This on the bottom there, it looks like it's tarmac or.
It's a tarmac. Yeah, it's like your athlete. That is very soft, if I can say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say often. So this may be also the case. There's if you jump on it, it gives. It pushes.
Yes. Yeah. And it was very surprising when I walk onto it. It feels like I'm gonna sink away.
So that's just a mentality of society carrying out from government all the way through to the society about watching out for kids.
Yeah, that's correct. Also, this one was also one of the routes that we saw next to we was driving between towns just to see sightseeing, and we found there was another walkway that we can stop and walk, and we stopped and we locked the car and take the kids, and we left and see what is in the woods. So yeah, it's very nature friendly place also, very nice. Nature is very clean. You won't see any rubbish, nothing lying around. It's kept very clean. The places around town, keeping, even the people itself, if they saw something lying around, they pick it up, they throw it away. It's not like they leave it there for someone to clean. It is everyone is taking the ownership of keeping it clean. The places is for free. There's just a small little canister that's standing there for donations, so you can put some donations in for them to keep the place up to standard. So yeah, and there's a lot of historic places that we visit like this, where you walk, that they can see what was happening in the history, what is here, what happened here, all that stuff. And it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, they've got boards up as you enter. They've got boards up telling you
information.
Yeah, basically the information, history of the place there. When you walk through the on the walkways, everywhere there's little information boards about the specific plant that's there, how long it's been standing there, those kind of things. So it's very, very informative for us as well. I mean, learning new plants, learning new birds, and the area. So it was very, very informative for us as well. Our first New Zealand braai.
Barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we stayed with friends of ours. That was the first. No, that was the first braai we had. So yeah, it was quite different from what we used to.
With all the wood in New Zealand, I never understood why everyone's using always gas. You can't. It's hard to find a wood barbecue.
Yeah, it's not something that you really find here. But I must be honest, at my cousin in Timaru, we had a proper wood fire.
Yeah, this the gas is just easier, quicker. Yeah, that I see the people doesn't like. I think some people will, but the way we saw it is like you get bright, you get finished, you get eaten.
It's done.
It's done. Yeah. It's not like we in South Africa, you light a fire and you
sit and have a nice conversation around. I mean, that is what we used to do. We used to light a fire and then sit and plan our whole life around that fire, and then eventually we would braai when the wood was ready. You'd braai, and then after that you eat and you pack up and you go to bed. So yeah, it's like it's quick, it's over, it's done with. Yeah.
That's the
gorge, Hokitika Gorge.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't find it as clear as it always have been, because we read there's 3 different colors of the water. Depends on the time of the season of it.
It depends on the rain and wind and stuff like that. The day that we went there, I think 2 or 3 days before that, we had quite heavy rains. So the water was very milky and murky. But they say you get it in a clear turquoise blue, and then this murky color, and then a kind of a whitish color. Yeah. We still wanted to go back, but time didn't allow us to. But one day we will.
That is the sports ground where they play rugby, cricket, and just in the back there is the playground where the children can play, and they love the walk.
Yeah, we basically set them free there, that they can run around and do as they please. No, that's Johan and the kids on the first flight. Thought, you know what, let's just take a picture, otherwise we're not going to have any. That is the weekend before we flew out. My brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, and
my mother.
Yeah, and Johan's mother, she came to visit us the month before we flew out. But yeah, my sister-in-law is a photographer, so she took all the pictures for us, for the family. So we've got quite a nice collection of family photos of our last weekend together.
That's the flight.
That's the
before we go to the plane.
Yeah, that's just before we checked in. Got all our stuff ready to go. That's at the Hokitika Gorge Bridge. Yeah, we took a few pictures there.
It's not for people that is
afraid of heights.
Afraid of heights. The bridge, as you walk on it, it's a little bit like moving. So yeah, I am not the one that likes heights very much. It was actually I was walking like an old person that can't walk. I would keep on touch the ropes so I don't fall. It feels like I'm gonna fall off. Very strange feeling. Yeah, that is also the bridge.
That's also on the bridge.
It looks quite safe with this cables.
Yeah, but you're only allowed 6 people at a time on the bridge.
There, and that's the last one.
The kids.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful photos.
Thank you.
So we've gone through your past, we've gone through your current, we've talked about the journey coming here, and then how it was interrupted by a owner who didn't really understand. He didn't really match things up well.
No, and I don't think
he knows what he wants, because
no, not just that. I don't think he gave the recruiter a clear picture of what he wanted. I think that is where the whole thing came in, because he had Johan's CV, and when we did the interview with him, or Johan did the interview with him, he asked Johan, how's your welding skills? And Johan said, you know what, I can help myself. I won't sell it to anybody, but I can help myself. And I think that was supposed to be like an eye-opener to him, to see that Johan isn't really a welder, he isn't really a boilermaker, whatever the case is, he's a diesel mechanic. So yeah, I think he just didn't have all his ducks in a row to know exactly what he wanted.
Yeah. Well, your next one did, so that changed.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
And I was open to them also. I told them, listen, my welding skills is not like the one that I will sell to anyone, but it is a good standard that I can help myself out in the need. And if they are willing to assist me with a week or two, that just give me pointers where I can improve myself, it will be nice. And they said to me, there's no problem, we will do that. So they are willing to how can I say, to bring me up. They don't say, no, we're not going to train you, you must do it yourself. They are willing to help me to get a step higher where I am now.
And then the coronavirus came into effect, the fourth level, a third level, and now fourth level, and you're staying in touch. So you do have the job offer. It is written. It's in process. Only waiting on the work visa.
Yeah, signed, sealed, and delivered. We're just waiting for the visa approval.
And it was great for me to get to know you. We walked through a process, and that process led to I think you came here, didn't you? You made calls, you arranged things, then you came here.
Yeah.
And you were all in, were you? Are you one of those that was all in? Did you get rid of everything at home?
Everything. We've got a few things still left in South Africa, but we sold our vehicles. We stopped our medical aid. Luckily we stayed with my parents before we came here. So yeah, I mean, there's still some of our stuff in their house that needs to be sold. But yeah, I mean, we basically gave up everything that side. Like I said, going back is not an option for us. We came here for a reason. We came here to give our kids a better future. We came here to give ourselves a better future. So thinking of going back is not an option.
Well, I'm sure everything will be fine. Positive thinking is a power. Yes. Faith, you can call it faith as well. And if there is some unusual thing that happens and you need help, again, please come back to me, because I do have contacts at Caterpillar, among other places, and I'm happy to just, support whatever I can do again.
Thanks so much.
It's not done until it's done.
Yeah, it's not done until the fat lady sings.
Yes. All right.
Hopefully she doesn't sing.
Yes, hopefully not. So we come to the point then where you're in limbo now. We do have the whole world is different now. It's shifted. Everyone's doing things differently around the planet. Isn't that amazing? And it happened just one day after. For us locally. For us, it happened one day after this whole lockdown.
Yeah.
After you got your job offer.
And that is why I'm saying everything happens for a reason, and God has got perfect timing. Doesn't matter where you are in life. It's like I said in my post, never stop praying, never stop asking friends to stand in prayer with you. Because what we did is when Johan lost his job, we decided to not tell the family. We didn't want them to worry about us.
Yeah.
They in South Africa, we here, there's basically nothing they can do for us. And we decided we're not going to tell them. And then eventually, about 5 weeks in, decided, you know what, maybe it's time to tell them. Maybe it's time to just give them a heads up of what's going on. And needless to say, it was a huge shock for them because they had no clue. We were already in this for 5 weeks. We were already adapted to what's happening and basically had time to sort our feelings out. And we just told them. So they were very shocked and very disappointed. We just realized again that telling your family when things go wrong and asking them to stand in prayer with you is
even though they are not here with you, they can still support you.
Yes.
And that is where we decided, listen, we feel we need the family support, and we need to talk to them, be open with them. And actually, we must have done that from the beginning. And since we actually talked to them, things started to change.
Yeah.
That's when I got the job offer. The job came to me. I say job came to me because it was on the right time. That, as I said, it was for a long time advertised, and they say they don't get the right application for the job. So it was waiting for me.
And just to tell you, just to give you an idea of how close we came to it, when we applied for the job offer, or when we applied for the job, the application closed 4 days after that.
Yeah.
So that is how close we came to to getting this job.
And you missed that job offer, that job advertisement. The whole time you were looking.
The whole time, and it's like I said, it is on Seek, and I'm getting regularly updates from Seek. I'm on Indeed and all those places where they trade me everything, everywhere they posted, because they sent us where they put the advert for the job, and we did look there.
We missed it completely.
But we missed it. I don't know how we missed it, but we missed it.
No.
And just after I said, as I said, after I spoke to you, I said, listen, let's pinpoint the place. Don't go broad. Just go to pinpoint one place and see what you get there. And that day I decided, let's see what's in Christchurch, and that's where I found Seek. On Seek, I found that specific place, and I said, listen, this is going to be a big chance, because it's already 20 of February. There's more than a month already that it's advertised. Normally, as soon as they got someone, the job is closing. So I said to her, there's going to be a big chance that we're going to get this, but let's try. We'd never know.
And 4 days afterwards, 4 days after we submitted the application's closed.
Yeah, and the application closed. So, that was, as I said, it was waiting for me it was at the right time, the right place. As I said, the Lord knows when to send something on your road. He won't, at that time, when we was looking for a job, he didn't send to me, because, as I said, we first need to go and see our family, which we saw 6 years last before this closed down. And yes, now we got the job offer. They didn't even say it because of this corona, we're gonna pull it back or nothing. They said, let's go ahead.
They carried on with it.
We're carrying on with it, because I was application, also a very good, successful application with Koch Transport. I was I was going into the final stages for the job offer, and they let me know, due to this virus,
everything is on
hold. They retract the position, everything. So yes, we was back into square one again. But luckily this one came up, and we thank the Lord for that. And without him, we wouldn't be here today.
Well, you talk about things lining up in your favor. You moved from Hokitika to Timaru. Timaru is close enough to Christchurch, and Christchurch is the city in the South Island for this. It's probably the number 2 on the whole country, or maybe 3. It's very, very top level city for this kind of work that you're doing.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
and our plan was to go to a small town where we are used to small town, but yeah, I think we are more needed here than
In a small place.
in a small place. I think there's a reason why we've been sent here.
Uh, I've always said that if I do really good with my clients, they will never need me again because they'll get good work, they'll prove themselves, and their network will allow them to get more the second job easy. Just the
Yeah.
same as in South Africa, you didn't need anyone. You just did your thing. You could get work, here or there once you had your established reputation.
Yeah, the difficult thing was when we started looking for jobs again, um, and I don't think a lot of people know this, is when you start looking for work and you start sending out your CVs to everybody. It's like we spoke previously, Tate, the gunshot effect. But what we've learned is that the moment that you work with one recruiter, um, it's difficult for them if you send your CV to all the recruiters because they've already given you, they've already presented you to the employer because they all fish from the same pond. It's very difficult for one recruiter to help you if you send your CV to all the recruiters. That is one thing that we've learned, and unfortunately, when you start becoming desperate for work, that is what we tend to do. You tend to send your CV to everybody. I mean, we've even got friends that's still in South Africa. She let me know that her husband got a job in Cromwell. We even send Johan's CV to them, and they send Johan's CV to employees in Cromwell. And then one of the employees told us, one of the recruiters told us, but these people already got your CV. How did they manage that? And I said to him, you know what? When you get into desperate times, you start doing things without really thinking about it. And you start sending out CVs in the hope that someone will see it and that someone will approve you or that someone will give you a chance. But yeah, it's one thing that we've learned. If you send your CV to all the recruiters, it comes back that nobody can assist you. That's one of the most difficult things I think in this whole situation that we've realized.
Well, your success came from your own efforts this time, directly.
Yes.
The recruiter didn't really help you, although they may have tried. It wasn't the result.
Yeah, because this job that Johan got now was a private advert. There was no recruiters involved. So it was, like I said, this was heaven sent because during the whole 5 weeks, we never saw the advert. The Thursday we saw it, we applied. 2 minutes later, they phoned us, but it was all privately done. So I think that is also what helped us quite a lot.
It's useful for me to know in what ways my support has helped you. I saw a good quality profile. We went through a process. Do you have evidence about what supported you in this process?
Well, with everybody that I've sent CVs out to, I've attached Johan's link to his video CV, and I got quite a few callback to say, you know what, we've never seen that before. That is the first time that I see someone attach a video link or a video CV to his original CV or to his paper-based CV. So I think that
they were very impressed.
They were very impressed with that. So I think that might have also helped a bit because they were able to hear you and they were able to
get to know me
without seeing. Yes.
And the training that we did for the video CV, did that help you in the actual interviews?
Yes, because whatever we did, most of the times they would ask you what is your skill set. Then I would go back to that long list that I've typed out. I would go back to that and I will just attach that piece there. Or if they ask you what is your transferable skills or whatever, I will attach that or your strong points. Yes. So and I still have that. I still work off of that.
Good pointers.
It's very good pointers.
And then the idea of not going just apply now, but actually setting things up that you're contacting first. That seems to have worked the second time as well.
It's a good process that we learned, and we will actually recommend it to everyone. It's a very good process. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the most thing is here they looking for people that is qualified, that's got that red seal. But they also will look at a person that's not qualified. If he's got more experience and better experience than you have, that is qualified, they will choose him over you.
Yeah.
That is how New Zealand is work.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a qualification means nothing if you don't have the experience.
Right. Yeah. You have both.
Both.
Yeah. And that does help.
Yeah.
Johan, Anne, I'm really honored to be working with you from how things started, and also it's not over quite yet. Johan will get this job. Anne, whenever you're ready, settle down. Doesn't matter the time limit. Just give me a ring and we'll go through another process.
Great, thank you, Tate, so much for all your assistance. Yeah, it's been wonderful working with you. It's been wonderful to get
the support from you.
The support from you, and also to see things from your side or from your perspective while we were still in South Africa. It's quite a different experience, because you don't really see that from the South African side if you try and do this on your own. There's a lot of people that actually can do it on their own, but sometimes you need that extra push, you need that extra bit of help, and that is where you come in.
I've got your back.
Thank you.
It's easy for me. Your skills are easy for you. The market needs you. The place you're coming from doesn't want you. And we're just going to make it happen.
Yeah, no, it's true.
You must come to the party to make it happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't going to come by itself. You must you must put your effort in also to get it work.
Yeah, I mean we've spent a lot of late nights in South Africa doing calls, doing callbacks, doing interviews. So yeah, I mean we've had a few evenings where we had my mom look after the kids at the bottom house, and we went up to their house to go and do calls and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the effort you put in is the effort that you're going to get out.
Yes. And all that effort you put in, Anne, in the beginning, and Johan, you're learning, you're collecting information from people. They're responding to you.
Yes, no, it's true. We've had quite a few people that told us, you know what, through everything that you've been quite an inspiration. It's because you guys have been through all the steps, you've been through everything that you've done. I've said to one of my friends, you know what, or she told me, you guys did everything right from the beginning, but you still got into this position where unfortunately one was let go. But faith and prayer, and I've got a saying, praying, believing, repeat, that is my motto. And at the end of the day, that is just where we've got to go. That is where our strength comes from.
Anything else you want to say for South Africans that are watching this and maybe looking for a little bit of hope right now, I guess? Anything you can say for them?
What I can say is never give up.
No, never give
Don't let this COVID-19 put you back. Here I am on the edge of it, and I got a job offer.
That's right.
Don't let it put you back. You will get out there. The borders will be open again. As we said, we are in a 4-week shutdown. The reason for that is because to kill this virus, so that we can get open again for South Africa, for any other people that wants to come to New Zealand. So don't give up. That is all. And keep praying. Keep you on your knees. That is the best way for anyone to get somewhere. Don't lose faith.
And it's like you also said, Tate, in one of your posts that you've said on the New Zealand group, is use this time now. I mean, South Africa is in a 21-day lockdown. It started last night for them. Take this time and work on your CV. Get your CV sorted out. Make sure that you've got all your references that is willing to assist you, because that's the other thing that we had. We've had people that we had on as references, and eventually when push came to shove and they have to give references, they decided they're not going to do it anymore. So make sure that the references you put up on your CV is people that you can trust, and it's people that is willing to give you a reference. So work on that. Make sure that when the borders open and when we are ready to go back out in the world again and look for work, make sure that you can submit your CV and that it's basically ready to go. This is a perfect opportunity to get all that sorted out. Make sure that you've got all your ducks in a row. That's basically that, and praying, believing, repeat.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful family you have here, and keep in touch. That's all I have to say. It's great to be with a fellow, well, you soon to be residents, and congratulations that you've made it here, and I'm sure it's only going to get better from here. You've got everything going in your direction now. The momentum is going in your favor.
Yes.
And it's going to keep going like that. So it's end of one chapter and beginning of another chapter for you, your family, and future generations. That happens to us right now because of your hard work.
Thanks for all your assistance also, Dave.
You're welcome. Take care. Keep in touch. God bless.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.